Sometimes I get messages from people saying that they've watched my videos and they want to get into Dungeons & Dragons and roleplaying because it sounds like great magical fun time adventures, but don't know how, and they want to know my advice. I've got another question for you.
Why? Have you not watched like the last 40 videos I've made? I think if you had, you'd realize I just complain about the games I've been in, where I yell at people, punch people in the face, try to get my character killed off, and try and ruin games. You'd think I'd have some kind of personal vendetta against it or something, and I'm quietly trying to end the hobby and bury it out back where no one can find it. But no! Some of you think D&D is about being with friends and having fun.
Seriously though, I complain about the things I love. First off, I need to clarify in case you guys don't already know. Dungeons & Dragons is a tabletop RPG. One game of many. It's hard to get exact numbers on what the most popular tabletop RPGs are. I would guess, in no particular order, Pathfinder, Shadowrun, Call of Cthulhu, Star Wars, Edge of the Empire, and the Vampire of the Masquerade? Sailor Moon? Sailor Moon? The RPG? Anyone? No? I don't know. You might be wondering, if there are all these other RPGs out there, why would I play Dungeons & Dragons? Why not pick one of the other ones? That's a good question. You could. It's possible. But with D&D, it's a bit easier if you want to find an active group because there's more people playing it and a lot more people are familiar with it. It has more streamlined rules, depending on what game you're comparing it to, and so on. So this video is going to be focusing on getting into D&D, even though you could technically pick any of them. So my first tip to getting into D&D is go to an Adventures League game. I've talked about it in another video, but Adventures League is hosted by Wizards of the Coast, where they run a series of games every week. It doesn't cost any money. You can go there, get into a session, and they will set you up with everything you need and teach you the rules. When it comes to house games, those are very personal. You kind of gotta know someone to get in, and even when you do, they'll sometimes want a blood pact for the next few years of your life if you want to stay. Ideally, you want to get your friends to play an RPG with you because most of the fun in playing an RPG is that you're doing it with friends. So my second tip is get your friends involved. A lot of times when I talk to people about getting into tabletop RPGs, they complain that none of their friends have played before and probably aren't interested. Well, have you tried bringing it up to them? I think there might be more interest there than you think. I remember one of my friends posting the Dungeons & Dragons books on his Facebook saying, reading through these at work. And he got a lot of hits from people saying things like, oh wow, that's so cool. I've heard about that game, including myself. And that's how I got my first invite to a group. Apparently, a lot more of our friends knew about D&D than we thought. Another thing, even if they don't know what D&D is, why don't you introduce them to it? Have they ever played any video game ever? If they have, that might be a good place to start. It is possible that you can convert your friends to D&D nerds by evangelizing to them about it. If not, your friends are defective. You need to get new friends. Third tip is, as far as stuff to buy, I would recommend starting with the 5th edition starter set. However, you aren't going to buy it because everyone else just buys the 3 core rulebooks, the Player's Handbook, the Dungeon Master Guide, and the Monster Manual, as well as a bunch of dice. If this is your first time running a game, I would suggest starting out maybe reading a module because it will give you a good idea how the game is run. Although, when it comes to reading modules, I've had mixed reactions because some people find them rather complicated and overwhelming. Hopefully this might help you guys out and give you a place to get started. I might make some more tutorial videos on role-playing coming down the line, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.